So tonight we're outside the SSE arena in Belfast where protests are happening about the inclusion of Tyson Fury into Sports Personality of the Year. We've had Martin McGuinness here tonight as long as representatives from the Rainbow Project, and we're going to hand you over to them now.
Anti-woman, anti-gay!
Tyson Fury, go away!
Anti-woman, anti-gay!
Tyson Fury, go away!
I'm John O'Doherty, I'm the director of the Rainbow Project. Over 130,000 people signed an online petition in opposition to Tyson Fury's shortlisting in this award. We're here today to lend our support to those voices. If this was happening anywhere else in the UK, there would be a protest, and we were going to make sure that Belfast was no exception to that rule. Homophobia, sexism have no place within our society, and more importantly, they have no place within sport as well. Sport has historically been a difficult space for women and for LGBT people. That is not acceptable by today's standards, and we need to see changes within sports. To take a Sports Personality of the Year award and to nominate someone who has these views and is very happy to publicly espouse these views has a negative impact on sport and has a negative impact in our society. The BBC have made a mistake here, and unfortunately, they didn't take the opportunity to rectify that. This is a common thing we see with the BBC. Although they're a great employer for LGBT people, they have great LGBT characters throughout their media, but unfortunately too often homophobic and sexist views are espoused on the BBC, and too often they go unchallenged. And we saw another example of that today with a gay cleric from the Church of England linking homosexuality to paedophilia, not unlike what Tyson Fury did. There has to be clear standards set by the BBC of what is hate speech and what is unacceptable on the airs. It's my belief that the comments of Tyson Fury and the comments this morning, or any comments linking being gay to being a paedophile, are hate speech and shouldn't be allowed on our air. Definitely not in relation to our public broadcaster, and definitely not if there's not going to be someone there willing to challenge those views.
And they have no place in a modern society, and I think that those remarks should be withdrawn and an apology should be made. But I mean, apart from that, hopefully it's going to be a great night, and it's going to be an opportunity for everybody to celebrate the transformation that's happening here in the north of Ireland.
Have the BBC made a mistake by inviting him here?
Well, I'm someone who was the subject of an attempt made by the Thatcher administration to put pressure on the BBC to not show a programme that I participated in. So I don't think as a politician that I should dictate to broadcasters about who should be on the airwaves or not. But I do think it's very important whenever we hear the sort of remarks that are made that we roundly condemn those remarks for the ridiculous and out of date sentiments that they express. You know, I think this is an opportunity here, obviously, for a very important event to be held in Belfast. We want the focus to be on the event, but we also want to be here, and Carol and I have taken a very conscious decision to come down and to stand in solidarity with the protesters who feel very offended and aggrieved, and rightly so, at these disgraceful comments.
Well, we're here today because the BBC decided to nominate Tyson Fury as Sports Personality of the Year, after he made such homophobic and sexist comments in recent months. Sports Personality of the Year is about having a great personality and being a great sportsmanship. It's not about just winning an award, and we're here today because we feel that the BBC are more about attracting big names than actually listen to the voices of LGBT people and minority groups.
Do you feel that Tyson should have been withdrawn from the competition?
Definitely, there was a petition signed, and there was hundreds of thousands of people signed it to get him removed from the nomination panel. I don't think that he will win the award just because there's so many people that are against what he's done and what he's saying. I think even there's just a small group here today, but the amount of presence on social media and the support for people like Andy West from the BBC, who was suspended over comments he made on Facebook, I think it's safe to say that we're all a bit ashamed of the BBC over this.
So what brings you out today to protest at the Sports Personality of the Year?
Basically, we're here today following the nomination of Tyson Fury for Sports Personality of the Year. Tyson Fury is someone who's come out with blatantly homophobic comments, blatantly misogynist comments, basically an attitude that isn't worthy of someone who is going to be on a platform, someone who's going to be an ambassador for young people, etc. So we're here today to say that not only is homophobia not welcome on our streets, sexism isn't welcome on our streets, definitely not welcome on our TVs and in a position that Tyson Fury is going for.
Anti-woman, anti-gay!
Tyson Fury, go away!